This is the Bush Whisperer coming at you from the most beautiful penguin sanctuary, southern tip of Africa, Cape Agulhas, Boulders Beach, Simonstown. The people we meet along the way. That's what this video is about. We often tend to think of life as our own personal journey. And life is our own personal journey, for it is how we experience reality. And we tend to anthropomorphize everything that we experience in this life. This great dream, which is essentially a series of memories bound in the brain. I've done some videos about this, about dreams, about the matrix, and how these tie into each other. That does connect to all of my videos. This is essentially one big teaching course that, if you really want to get the benefit, start at the beginning. Start at the beginning and move through all the videos. It must be probably about 20 hours up, maybe more. Depends when I upload this video. The people we meet along the way are fundamentally what this life is about. Your family, your children, your mother, your son, brothers and sisters, friends, lovers, the animals. I forgot to mention the animals, they're also an important part. The shaman appreciates and understands how important a part of this reality animals are. And so the animal forms are essentially the deepest aspects of ourselves that reveal through ourselves the nature of this world, the construction upon which this world hangs, which are the living forces, living creatures, which are a string of being through which our beings can manifest. It's an interesting concept. It's sort of fundamental to the proverbial occult traditions from all around the world. So bear in mind that the separations between you and me, and us and them and those, and those and these, are mental constructs. Mental constructs that we use in order to be able to create sense, make sense out of this world, which is essentially not sensible. And by that I mean the essential nature of reality is a mental one. And we then begin to create sense out of this reality. And the divisions and structures of the vibrational nature of being and the then correlative nature of being gets put into sense of polarizing nature of being, which is then put into the rhythmic nature of being, producing the rhythms and the currents of life. And the rhythms are then put into the correlative causal form of being, which is a reflection of the correlation. And the causal layers of being are then put into the generative layers of being, through which the bodies, the forms of bodies, are generated, to draw the final distinctions between the separations of the aspects of self, which are all essentially bound in a fundamental unity, the unity of being. So in this way, we are all one. There is no doubt about that. Anybody who's experienced transcendent states of consciousness has recognized and realized how oneness works. We are one with the animals around us. We are one with the people. We are one with the trees, one of the rocks, one of the air, one of the sea. And in the state of total unity, one is able to transcend one's physical form, reach into the unseen, reach beyond the unseen, reach into the unknown and reach beyond the unknown. And so it's fundamentally important to recognize that when you look into the eyes of another, you're seeing yourself. I want you to consider that for a moment. And then when you're speaking to another human being, you're actually speaking to yourself. But what you do to another human being, you're actually doing to yourself. And the same can be said for animals. When you look into the eyes of your loving dog, you're looking into an aspect of yourself. And so it is that the nature of karmic experience is a perfect correlative structure, whereby what we envision of ourselves, we project onto others. And what we project onto our others is what we gain from ourselves which becomes ourselves in the structure of being. So it's fundamentally important to realize this. Smash the like button, share this if you think this is good information, you think it can help people. That's why I do it. And don't be afraid to open yourself. Don't be afraid to allow your idiosyncrasies to come through. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable is one step away from learning to surrender, true surrender. And surrendering is how the heart is opened. For you could say that surrender is the rendering of the heart. The heart renders through surrendering, and the polarization of being is thus able to come into existence. That's the sphere of the heart. In this way, it's important for us to be able to recognize that the things we don't like about other people are the things we don't like about ourselves. And the things that we like about other people are the things that we like about ourselves. And that insecurity is essentially a lack of integrity. I want you to really think about that, because that's rather fundamental. It's so important. When you recognize that all insecurity comes from this perspective and from this place, then you'll start realizing why integrity is so important, why you've got to be true, why you've got to be genuine, why you've got to be authentic. For the more authentic, true, and genuine you become, the less insecure you will be. The less insecure you will be, the more you'll be able to open up and be free. The more you can open up and be free, the more you will notice that every other being is a reflection of me. The more you recognize that every other being is a reflection of me, the more open wide your eyes will see. The more you can see, the greater will be your sphere of ability to be who it is you are. And the light of the inner star will shine. And this is essentially why we are living in this world of separation. For when we recognize that we're a smaller drop of a greater ocean, that great ocean is reflecting many, many other drops in life, we can start to really embrace the infinity of being. For the infinity of being is essentially an eternal process. And this eternal process is happening right here, right now, in the present. And the present tense is the doorway into quantum time. And you hear a lot of people talking about time shifting, stepping through portals. All of these phenomena are essentially when one is so attuned to the present that one notices that the sphere of time is a choice, essentially. And that through the present, the future is chosen. And when we're choosing the future, we're choosing the past. This might seem sublime, might seem abstract. I will do more explorative videos regarding the specific nature of time and space, just exactly how these portals operate. Not that we should be seeking portals. We should not be trying to escape ourselves. We should be trying to integrate. Integrity. Come to terms with who you are. Come to terms with what it is that makes you who you are. Come to terms with what it is that's driving you. And you will find freedom in this life. And freedom is equitable, can be equated to love. And love is the seed of joy. The seed of joy brings one to a state of love, shall we say. And when we're in a state of love and the joy is flowing through us, there is this freedom of power that flows through us. And choice becomes an innate ability. And so what we can consider as the miraculous, or these miracles of life, are essentially the essence of love being shared between ourselves, our hearts, and our inner beings. And allowing this to move through us will allow us to share this with those we meet along the way. Think about that for a moment. And as we share those with those we meet along the way, it is brought back to us, and it compounds, it increases. Sort of like if you're warm and you go and sit in the sun, you'll be more warm until you're hot. And there's something to consider, the warmth of the sun. Allow the warmth of the sun to flow through your heart. Because when the warmth of the sun flows through your heart will share the warmth of the sun with those you meet along the way. So take that to heart while you're liking and sharing these videos, I hope. And consider how it is that you can use fantasies to enrich this process. I did a video on fantasies. Go and take a look specifically. How you can use the dream time to build a greater sense of self and to increase the integrity, thus producing a greater flow of harmony. And then we will be becoming the flow that is essentially the stream of consciousness from whence we've spring, or from whence we've sprung. And that will be the innate joy of a child flowing through you. Have an absolutely gorgeous day. Enjoy the bird song. Let it carry you along this journey of life. Don't forget to smile. Smiling is fundamentally important. Subscribe so you don't miss any of these daily uploads. They're coming hard and fast, long and strong. And have the time and the patience for those that you meet along the way. Recognizing that they are reflections of yourself will bring you closer to the recognition of who you are, so that you can become who you were meant to be. This is the Bush Whisperer, sharing a few words with you on this beautiful sunny morning. Have a totally gorgeous day. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.